Welcome back to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. In Virginia, new polling shows the races for Lieutenant Governor and Attorney General are much more competitive. Democrat Ghazala Hashmi holds a slim 44% to 43% lead over Republican John Reid in the race for Lieutenant Governor. In the race for Attorney General, it's Republican Jason Miyares with a 3-point lead over Jay Jones in one of the first polls released since we learned that Jones sent violent text to a former colleague in 2022. And in the race for governor, Democrat Abigail Spanberger leads Republican Winsome Earl Sears by 7 points. Joining us is Randolph-Macon College political science professor Rich Marr. Professor, welcome back to Capitol Review.
It's great to be back with you, Mark.
We're glad to have you. Before we talk about the polling, let's talk about something else. Virginia Democrats just announced that they're going to redraw the state's congressional district map lines. Your reaction?
Well, it's not surprising to me. It does seem like the battleground in this national battle between Republicans and Democrats over redistricting is expanding wherever it can. Now, just because the Democrats have called for a meeting to explore the idea of whether they can do anything doesn't mean they will. The rules for redistricting are pretty arcane, pretty hard to follow. And in Virginia, that would require a constitutional amendment. That's not a simple process, and it's not something they can take care of in just one meeting. So I'd be surprised if something actually happens, but it's not surprising to me that Virginia Democrats feel like they want to get in on this national fight between Republicans and Democrats over redistricting.
Professor, recent polling shows Democrat Abigail Spanberger has a lead over Republican Winsome Earl Sears in the race for governor. No surprise there, but the race for lieutenant governor is interesting. It looks tight. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it does seem like there's a different dynamic going on in the lieutenant governor race. There could be a couple of things going on there. It could be that because there's been no debate that some voters are still making up their minds. It does seem to me that the polls will probably have a late break for the Democrats if, as we think, right, Democrats are favored in this election. So I would suspect that whatever happens in the lieutenant governor's race, it's going to end up looking a little bit closer to the governor's race than it is currently, just because I think the candidates and the dynamics of the lieutenant governor's race have been so weird this year.
Let's talk about the race for attorney general. Is this about texting, or can Jones hold on and use the Abigail Spanberger, use her momentum to cross the finish line?
I do think that Jay Jones is not doing as badly as the current polls reflect. Right, this is the first poll that we just saw from VCU that shows Jason Miyares actually leading in the battle for attorney general, and that's definitely a result of this text scandal. But that poll was taken, and most of the polls we've seen so far have been taken before the attorney general debate, before Jay Jones sort of stabilized his campaign and got back into the campaign. And so it still remains to be seen whether the polling is going to stay favoring Jason Miyares. Still, it is the case that that race, the attorney general race, because of those texting scandals, give the Republicans the best shot of winning one of these statewide races. There was
another issue, another October surprise for the campaign about community service for reckless driving. How many hits can the Jones campaign take?
Well, I mean, this is the environment that we live in now. And, you know, it's kind of ironic that Republicans are complaining about Jay Jones when Republicans are the party of Donald Trump, right? And Donald Trump is someone who says lots of things, does lots of things, and doesn't seem to suffer any political consequences for it. So to some extent, I think voters have been trained to kind of, I don't know, turn a blind eye or at least give a shrug of the shoulders to the scandal. So the idea that Jay Jones would somehow be sunk by the kind of scandal after scandal after scandal, I mean, a lot of them are related. I think it's more the case that viewers are listeners and voters are just kind of tuning it out a little bit. And they're really looking at the partisan labels and what they want to accomplish. And that's how they're voting.
Professor Rich Marr, thank you so very much for joining us.
Anytime, Mark.